What if I told you that the 2026 U.S. Open women's title race could be one of the most unpredictable Grand Slam battles we've seen in years? 6 elite stars. 6 completely different stories. And when the final ball is struck in New York, only one woman will be standing with the trophy. Aryna Sabalenka is chasing history. Coco Gauff is arriving with fresh confidence after a huge Cincinnati triumph. Iga Swiatek has suddenly rediscovered her winning formula. Elena Rybakina already knows what it takes to win a Grand Slam this year. Jessica Pegula is still searching for the major breakthrough that has escaped her. And then there's Mirra Andreeva, the young star who has already proven she can beat the biggest names in tennis. So the question is simple. Who will survive the 6-woman title war and become the 2026 U.S. Open champion? Stay until the end, because one of these 6 could have the perfect combination of form, hard-court power, confidence, and experience to rule New York. The final Grand Slam of the season is almost here, and the women's draw is loaded with possibilities. The rankings themselves tell the story. Aryna Sabalenka enters as world number 1, followed by Elena Rybakina, Jessica Pegula, and Coco Gauff. Mirra Andreeva sits inside the top 5, while Iga Swiatek is currently number 8. But rankings alone don't decide a Grand Slam. Momentum matters. Confidence matters. Fitness matters. And most importantly, surviving 7 matches under the lights of Flushing Meadows matters. That's why this year's title race feels so difficult to predict. Let's break down the 6 biggest contenders. Contender number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. If there is one player who understands how to dominate the U.S. Open, it is Aryna Sabalenka. She has won the last 2 U.S. Open titles. Now she is trying to accomplish something extraordinary, a 3rd consecutive championship. That would put her in incredibly rare company. Sabalenka has also spent much of the season proving why she is the world number 1. Earlier in 2026, she won major titles in Indian Wells and Miami, showing the kind of hard-court tennis that makes her incredibly difficult to stop. But there is one major question. Is Sabalenka arriving in New York at her absolute best? Her recent results have not been as dominant as the first part of the season. Reuters reports that since April she has gone 17-7, and her early Cincinnati exit only increased questions about her current form. Still, never underestimate Sabalenka at the U.S. Open. She knows the court. She knows the pressure. She knows how to win there. And perhaps most importantly, she knows exactly what it feels like to lift that trophy. If Sabalenka finds her best serve and starts controlling rallies with her powerful ground strokes, she could once again become the woman everyone else has to beat. Contender number 2, Coco Gauff. Now we get to the American superstar, Coco Gauff. And her timing could not be better. Gauff just captured the Cincinnati title, defeating Jessica Pegula 6-2, 6-4 in the final. It was her first title of the 2026 season and her 4th WTA 1000 championship. But the biggest story isn't just the trophy. It's how Gauff played. Her serve has been one of the biggest areas of focus in her game. After making technical changes with biomechanics specialist Gavin McMillan, Gauff has been working to make her serve more reliable and difficult to attack. And Cincinnati suggested that those changes may be starting to pay off. She won 10 straight sets during her run to the title after an opening stumble. That is exactly the kind of momentum a player wants before arriving at the U.S. Open. And remember, Gauff has already won this tournament. She knows what it feels like to play under the enormous pressure of New York. She knows how loud the crowd can become. And she knows how quickly a Grand Slam can change. At only 22, she already has the experience of a champion. So could 2026 be the year Gauff wins another U.S. Open? Absolutely. Contender number 3, Iga Swiatek. For much of the 2026 season, Iga Swiatek looked unusually vulnerable. Early exits at the Australian Open, Roland Garros and Wimbledon created questions about whether she could rediscover her best tennis. Then something changed. Swiatek won Toronto, and she did it by defeating Elena Rybakina in the final. That title ended an 11-month drought and gave Swiatek her 12th WTA 1000 championship. She followed that with a strong Cincinnati run, reaching the semifinals. Suddenly, the conversation changed. Swiatek was no longer simply trying to find her form. She was becoming a legitimate U.S. Open threat again. Her confidence is back. Her movement is still among the best in the world. And when her forehand starts controlling points, opponents can find themselves under pressure almost immediately. There is also history. Swiatek won the US Open in 2022. Now she returns to New York looking for her second championship there, and her 7th Grand Slam title overall. The big question is whether her recent resurgence can continue for another 2 weeks. If it does, watch out. Contender number 4, Elena Rybakina. Elena Rybakina might be one of the most dangerous players in the entire field. Why? Because she already proved this year that she can win a Grand Slam. Rybakina captured the 2026 Australian Open, defeating Sabalenka in the final. That victory gave her another major championship and confirmed her status as one of the most powerful players on tour. Her serve can be devastating. Her ground strokes can be extremely aggressive. And on a fast, hard court, those weapons can become even more dangerous. 6 women, 1 trophy, 2 weeks, and thousands of points that could change the entire landscape of women's tennis. Will Sabalenka make history with 3 straight US Open titles? Will Coco Gauff bring another championship back to New York? Can Swiatek complete her comeback? Will Rybakina add another Grand Slam to her 2026 collection? Can Pegula finally capture the major title she has been chasing? Or will Mirra Andreeva shock everyone and take over the biggest stage in tennis? The 2026 US Open is about to answer all of those questions. And trust me, this could be a tournament you absolutely do not want to miss. If you enjoyed this preview, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because once the US Open begins, the real battle starts. 6 contenders, 1 trophy, 1 champion. Who is your pick to win the 2026 US Open? Coco Gauff, Sabalenka, Swiatek, Rybakina, Pegula, or Andreeva? Let me know in the comments.